Hey guys,
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
It's Can-Am Ride Day. Where are we going today, Barb?
So we're taking a ride today, leaving the campground, heading out to Oxbow Bend, over to Jackson Lake as a side, riding Signal Mountain, and then going to Jackson Hole, all in the Tetons in Wyoming.
Sounds like an awesome day to me.
So stay tuned.
Today the ride leaves the Du Bois campground in Du Bois, Wyoming.
It's 34 degrees again, so it's colder than the last time we rode, late June.
Today we're going to take you on several stops of beautiful riding, and it's going to be about a 3.5 hour ride.
Our first stop is Oxbow Bend, but before we got there, we had a super scary situation.
The first time we ever had almost collision, and it was an animal, and the animal was a large deer.
As you can see, we had a bunch of deer jump over the railing kind of out of nowhere.
Yep.
And it caught us off guard. And the thing that I'm going to talk about is that I'm supposed to be alert and looking for animals, and also maybe doing some filming with my camera I carry. It was so cold, I was hunkered down like this with my head in Bob's back. It was just so cold. I was trying to steal the heat, so I didn't see any of it until it happened.
Some of the problems you have in these parks, when it's early morning, you have a lot of animals on the move. We just happened to encounter one. One actually got really close to hitting us, and we actually tested out the anti-lock brakes, and he slid. When his hoofs hit the asphalt, he went down in front of us. The video don't really show it, but he almost rolls underneath our tires. We just barely avoided him. All of our stops today were all inside the Teton National Park.
So we got in for free, of course, because we had our America the Beautiful pass, and the drive and the views were stunning on the way there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a beautiful ride.
I'll link our last video below in case you haven't seen it, where it shows more of the ride to the Teton Park. So what is Oxbow Bend? Oxbow Bend is one of the many lakes that surrounds the Tetons, and it is one of the ones where you can get amazing views of the mountains and the tree line in the water. So this morning we're at Ox Bend turnout at Grand Tetons National Park. We survived a deer trying to kill us.
Yep.
So far. Down here is a really beautiful, I guess it's a pond or lake.
Pond or, yeah.
And you can get a great reflection of the mountains. Of course, we chose to do it on a cloudy day, and the water's not completely still, so. Next, I know we're going to be doing a ride, so we're staying in our full rider gear, including our Hammer Time pants. But we're riding up Signal Mountain.
Signal Mountain Road, yeah.
Yep.
Against our better judgment, we're going to go into Jackson Hole.
Yeah, I mean, we drove through Jackson to get here, and it's just a touristy town. And
it's not really our thing, but we're going to do some lunch there somewhere.
We'll probably be hungry, so. On our way to Signal Mountain, we decided to stop at the Jackson Lake Dam. We'll start over on this side. There's still so much water gushing through from all those rains they had, but just very powerful. Their dam on this side for Jackson Lake. The Tetons are different from Yellowstone. They have the animals. Definitely feel like you're on an African safari searching for the animals, but it's all about the mountains. Not really getting a reflection again today because it is a little misty from it being warmer. And the mountains being cold. It's beautiful. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this looks like something that Bob Ross would paint. And you would put in a little trees then. Need a tree here, need a tree here. Ah, I'm being attacked by flies. We go to the touristy areas because it's what you're supposed to do. We usually maybe do that on day one. We do some of them, but then we look for all the things that aren't normally seen.
Obscure things.
Yeah. Because it's less crowded. There might be more flies. So we keep getting distracted in our trip here today. We're still at Jackson Lake. We're at the Chapel of the Sacred Heart. And it's got a little teeny short trail here with picnic tables all over it, which we're not eating our lunch today out. Man, it's ridiculous with the flies, but maybe they're out and it's a little cold, so they're looking for anything with a temperature, which would be us. Hey, Desi, can I have some more rocks, please? Man, these are cool, aren't they? How come Bob's the first one down by the water? Usually it's me. Man, look at the view. I've been showing you rocks and not the view. So something that Bob and I have discovered that we really like whenever we're around mountainous areas is riding the Can-Am kind of like up to the summit. And sometimes it's not always easy to find these roads, but we did find Signal Mountain Road.
Signal Mountain Road was a beautiful windy road.
The lane was super tight getting up. It was two ways, going up and coming down. So we did encounter some traffic as we passed. One side has the mountain going up, the other side has the cliff that drops off. So you just got to take your time because you're looking around. And then it's just so beautiful because the higher you get, the little more chillier it gets. The trees get a little bit more thicker.
When you get to the top, there's definitely a beautiful pull-off overlook, and it looks over the valley, and that's where we saw the elk that were way off into the distance. But we were able to zoom in with the camera, with the ADX camera, and actually get a little bit of picture of them, but they were way, way far away from us.
The elk is always very elusive to us, so we were excited to get this, and I'm so happy Bob has this new camera because now we're able to kind of really see them, even if they were so tiny from where we were standing.
There was actually some videographers up there that actually pointed them out to us because with the naked eye, they looked like dots. You know, we couldn't see them because they were so far away. But once I zoomed in with the camera, we actually were able to get shots of them.
The breathtaking moment is after you cross that bridge and you're like, wow.
Yeah, we rode around quite a bit up there on the mountain around the area because it was just so beautiful, and the weather was starting to cooperate a little bit as far as the temperature. It was cool, but it was definitely doable on the motorcycle.
It's very spiritual being up there because it just feels like it ties you into God and the creation of the earth and how amazing every single thing is that people just don't really appreciate.
Yeah, it's those little obscure things that just ground you. You know, it's beautiful. Of course, all the things that people do like, you know, your high traveled areas. This is just one of those things that just drawed us in, so we loved it.
And speaking of that, once we finished this beautiful thing, we did head on into Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
And it was about actually an hour's drive from there, so it was a pretty good drive.
Yeah.
But it is basically just a town full of shops and stores.
It's fun to people watch.
If you're someone who likes to shop and buy those expensive things, you know, that you see in those kind of towns, this is definitely a place for you to go.
Yeah.
But that's just not what we want to do. What we did do is stop at the Teton pizza place.
Yep.
And it was incredible. And then I think we had ice cream.
Yeah, I think we did have some ice cream.
It was a non-keto day. So Bob, tell me your thoughts about everything we did today.
Well, the ride leaving Du Bois was beautiful, and getting to Oxbow and, you know, to Signal Mountain, Jackson Lake. Just a beautiful ride. I mean, it was a beautiful day. Little on the brisk side starting out, but then when we got to lower elevation, the temperature definitely rose into the low 60s. So every stop we made, picture perfect. Just loved it. Wouldn't change a thing.
I mean, I definitely highly recommend it if you're in this area. We did the Jenny Lake tour, which I already said I'm going to link that below so you can see more of the drive to getting to Teton Mountains. And that is great.
Yeah.
But seeing Jackson Lake to me was better, and even Oxbow Bend was better. It was less crowded, more personal. There's a lot of lakes like that you can go to try to get those pictures. It was amazing. Just being out in nature, doing what we want to do in our own time. That's what we want for you guys also.
Yeah.
So we hope that you will like this video. We tried to have a little bit of fun and be a little bit educational.
Yeah.
We hope that you will smash up that notification bell.
Yeah, just give it a good crack.
I mean, smash it. You better be subscribing to our channel because our subscribers are going up and you don't want to be left out.
And give us the comments. Let us know. Have you been to Tetons? Do you want to go to the Tetons? Have you been to the Teton? What'd you do in the Tetons?
What did you do? Oh my God, don't tell me that. So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our incredible world.
Bye-bye.